Good morning, good morning. I am working on going live in two places here, so bear with me just 1 second. If you can see me on one camera on my personal page. There we go. I've just gone live now on both pages. So hi everyone, welcome to Wonderful Wednesday. I'm Denise Siegel. I am the CEO and curator, which is basically a really fancy word for editor of Living Healthy List, where we bring you the most honest and reliable information on health, wellness, personal development, and bringing a little bit of fun back into your life. So today, let's talk about something fun. Sort of fun. Let's talk about road trips. Road trips. Love them or hate them? What do you love them? Do you hate them? What's your thoughts on road trips? Now, personally, I'm not a big fan. After about 3.5 hours, I've had about enough. For the most part, it just depends for me on the destination and kind of what we've got planned, what else is going on. We've done a couple of road trips out west, and it was a lot of driving, I guess, hence the name road trip. But it really was one of the only ways to get to see some of the parts of that part of the country. We went to Bryce Canyon, we were up in Salt Lake City, all sorts of kind of fun stuff. So, kind of with what's going on, with COVID, I know we're all so flippin' sick of it, right? But guess what? It's not sick of us. It's still here, and it's very real. For those of you who know me well, you know that my husband is a transplant surgeon and immunologist. He works with the immune system, which, hello, this is what the COVID is kind of messing with is, it's your immune response to COVID. And it's a very real situation. Whether, whatever you care to believe, listen to your medical professionals. They really have your best interest in mind. Everything else aside, the crap that you see in the news, the stuff that you read on Facebook, talk to a doctor. Talk to somebody who really knows what they're talking about. But, so it's real, it's here, but we still need to live and we still want to have fun, right? So with summer now in full swing, I think 4th of July for me is always kind of like the beginning of summer. But for a lot of people, especially here in the Midwest, school, even though it was social distance school or at home school, the kids are done. They're done here like the middle of June. So really by this time, what's today? Today's the 8th of July. Really summer, we're right in the midst of it. And, obviously a lot of states are, loosening some of the restrictions. Some of them, are having issues. So they're, changing them again. And it's just one of those things it's going to be up in the air, until we either have a vaccination, which they're nowhere near that, or have a drug that helps to, to get rid of the coronavirus once you have it. We don't have that either. So as much as you may see on the TV, oh, it's coming soon. It's not here now, but we need to live now. So what do we do? And that's where road tripping comes in. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of road trips. I'd much rather get on a plane and get there quickly. But right now, that's not the best option. So for those of us who do want to get out and about, how do you do it and do it safely? And the question is, can we do it and be safe? Are we going to get coronavirus? Truly, the answer is it kind of depends. It depends on where you're going, who you're going with, how often you make stops, or the people. There's lots of variables, lots of things we just don't know. So obviously, you just have to be smart and you have to be safe. One of the things I would recommend, don't go to Arizona. Don't go to Texas. Don't go to Miami. Why? Because it's running rampant there. And yeah, a lot of people say everyone's going to get it. And a lot of people, yes, are going to get this. But nobody knows how your immune system is going to react to it. So, I just saw yesterday, there's an actor a Broadway actor, 41 years old, who was down with coronavirus. He was in the ICU and he was intubated for weeks and weeks, maybe like 6 weeks. He came out, and I don't know why or what happened, why they de-intubated him or unintubated him. And they thought that he was going to be okay. Well, at 41 years old, with 6 weeks in the hospital, he just passed away. So we just don't know. So we have to be so thoughtful about what we're doing and how we're doing things. But again, we still need to get out and do things. So prioritize, your safety. Again, figure out where you're going to go. Are you driving your car? Are you going to rent an RV? All of these things, you need to take all of these things into consideration. A lot of people are doing these staycations, whether that's, staying home or staying close to home. Kind of like that domestic travel within Minnesota. For me, if I was in Minnesota, I just dropped my phone. And actually, we're considering doing that. There's a place up north in Minnesota. So I live in southeast Minnesota, so pretty much everything is up north from here, which is kind of a joke because I kind of think if I live any further north, I'll live in Canada. Not that that's a bad thing, but Canada is really here. I mean, most people think Canada, oh, it's cold there. Guess what? It's cold here too. Except for today, it's like 95 degrees. Anyway, I digress. So again, we're staying kind of closer to home, and there's this place that we're thinking about going to. And so I looked on their website. I called them the other day just to find out what their safety and cleanliness and their COVID precautions were. Right now, a lot of places are, they're not really full because people are kind of questioning, do we go, do we not go? So there are some really good deals. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a little while. So, if you're traveling someplace and you do decide to rent an RV, the good thing about that is, you have fewer stops. I would recommend, no matter where you're going, if you're driving, bring your own food. Don't stop if you don't have to. Obviously, if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to find a place to go. If you're traveling with ladies, girls, we need a real place to go. It's just most beneficial. Though if you're hiking in the woods, I guess, you got to go where you got to go. Anyway, so, I did a little bit of research on that, and the truck stops that are along the way, they've increased the housekeeping. They've increased the amount, they've increased the amount of times that they're wiping down surfaces, handles, counters, all the places that people are touching and coming in and out of. So people are, so all of these people are thinking, the companies are thinking, the hotel chains have, they have keyless entry. I mean, it's actually kind of cool. You get an app on your phone, and literally you put your phone up against or near the door, and it opens automatically. So there's lots of things that companies are doing to provide you with a safe environment, but you do need to think about these things and plan ahead. So a couple of weeks ago, I guess 2 weeks ago, Mark and I went up to Bloomington, Minnesota, which is about, I don't know, maybe a half an hour, not quite, out of Minneapolis. Weren't really planning on going into Minneapolis because stuff was still going on downtown there. But, we just needed to get out of the house. I mean, let's be real. I mean, we've all been social distancing since March 8th, or for me, March the 12th. So we knew that, we were going to do it safely. We did it smart. We called the hotel that we like to stay at. They were at like 20% capacity, which meant they had lots of rooms available at a really good rate, by the way. But lots of rooms. They didn't have a lot of staff, but the people who were there all had masks, and everybody was constantly wiping things down. We have the touchless entry. So we didn't even have to go over to the front desk. We kind of walked by the front desk. Like I said, keyless entry. Yes, we have that, but we also have that where you can check in online. So we took care of that. We had our hotel room. We knew the number we were going to, so we just kind of waved at everybody and who was at the desk and moved on. But they also are doing things in the hotel rooms, like they took extra pillows out, like that were on the couch. They took out all of the glassware. So you had your plastic cups, that were wrapped. So you know, there were still things, but all of those amenities, like they've taken those out because you never know, you know, who's touching things. And so if they can remove those things, it removes risk. What else? We did notice, because we stayed there overnight, we went out to dinner to a restaurant that we've been going to for years. And it was actually kind of interesting because it's a really big restaurant. It's called Kincaid's. And they have all these little alcoves. And it was kind of strange. It kind of seemed like we had our own personal waiter in our own personal restaurant, because we just had this little alcove to ourselves and nobody else around us. I mean, it was actually it was a little weird. But it was great because we were able to get out and do something a little different. Now, the restaurant did have an abbreviated menu because, you know, they have no idea how many people are going to come in, especially when they can only work at half capacity. So these are things to have in mind, which is also why I say, you know, if you're traveling, bring food with you. If you go to some place and decide to rent either Airbnb or VRBO, those companies are also doing stuff when it comes to your safety. So I know when somebody checks out of an Airbnb, the owner has to have the housekeeping come in, and nobody can be in that house for 24 hours, at least 24 hours before new people can check in. So people leave, house cleaning comes in, they do a deep clean of the house, and then for 24 hours, actually somebody cannot they can't rent it to people. So, you know, again, safety precautions, but call and make sure. You know, just because the company says that this is what the policy is, you have to make sure that the people are following. I think most people are doing the right thing, but, you know, for your own safety, you just want to make sure. What else? I talked about camping and RVs. Camping, if you love to go camping, God bless you. That is definitely not something I enjoy very much. I've gone camping twice in my life. I'm good with that. RVs are really kind of popular right now. Again, it's one of those things, you know, you have everything right there, so you don't have to go into a hotel. You can stop less frequently. I don't know, I've actually never traveled in an RV, so if you guys have traveled in an RV, let me know how that works. I just want to take a quick moment to say hello to some people. Hello, Patty Gaggs. Hi, Stephanie, how are you? Let me pop over here. Let's see, who do we got going on over here? It looks different, so I'm going to pop back over to my personal page and say hello again. So what else? I mentioned truck stops, really big deal. If you're going to be traveling, there is actually a really cool travel app that I didn't write down. Sorry, guys. But again, if you're going to be planning a trip, go online, check out the travel apps. And one of them that I was looking at, it essentially can help you find different places that you want to stay. If you're traveling in an RV, it'll help you find places where you can hook up. I guess that's what you do with an RV. What else is going on? What else do they do? So they can help you find restaurants, they can help you find truck stops. All of these things that you're going to be needing when you're traveling on the road during your road trip. And I think, you know, it's really important. Another thing is to have maps. I know everybody has a GPS. I know that. I have a GPS. I love my GPS. But I will tell you that every now and then, Siri or Google Maps, I have no idea what they're thinking. They just are messing with me when it comes to maps. So have a general idea where you're going to go, the roads that you're going to go on. Because from what I understand, Siri and Google Maps wants to take you the most direct route. And sometimes the most direct route is the longest and has the most stop signs or red lights. Don't take that route. So plan ahead. Print out a couple of maps from Google Maps just to have an idea. And you never know when you're traveling. Okay, again, I'm in Minnesota. There are times, seriously, between here and going downtown, which is a mile and a half, I lose signal. So what if you're driving and all of a sudden you have no signal and you aren't able to connect with Siri? Your Google Map goes away. So just be, you know, again, plan ahead. Again, this is a safety thing. This has nothing to do with COVID or anything else. This is just a be smart travel safety tip. So I have some even more exciting travel and safety tips that are actually going to come, that we're going to do on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Every second Tuesday of the month, we do something called the Wonder Series. And this is an opportunity for you to ask questions and kind of like, wonder how you could do things differently. Wonder what things would look like if you did something in a different way. So on the Wonder Series this coming Tuesday, it's July 14th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I do believe I put the information in my notes. I'll write it again just to make sure. What we're talking about is outside the box, outdoor fun. Because it's summer, we want to get outside, but we do know that things are a little different. Kids' camps are closed, a lot of beaches are closed, though if you look on TV, it doesn't look like anybody's paying attention to that. But there's just a lot of things that we have to do differently. So how do we do that? How do we think outside the box and still have fun? So I have 3 experts. I'm just a facilitator, so I actually don't say much. Annette Palilka, who is an environmentalist, and she is also one of our outdoor specialists. She's been living up at Lake Tahoe during all of this, and so every day she's out hiking or canoeing or doing all sorts of fun stuff. Luann Beekler, who is, she has the passion, she is a passion test facilitator, but she also loves to bring people outdoors, and she shows people how your passion, whatever your passion is, you can really connect with it when you spend time outdoors. And then finally, Sandy Haddock, who is with, her business is Dreams Are Forever Travel, because she wants everybody to know that there are still ways to travel and go to places that you never thought you would go to or even knew existed. There are plenty of opportunities for that. And working with a travel agent is really important. It's one thing if you're going to be driving on your own, there's a lot of stuff you can do. But if you're going to be traveling to a specific location with a hotel and with car and with all of the things that you need with travel, I always recommend working with a travel agent. And Sandy is amazing. Sandy's done some great trips for us throughout the years. And she's got some really cool different places, like places that I hadn't even thought of that are available and are looking for people to come and visit. So I guess the question for you is, are you planning on traveling? Are you planning on taking that road trip? Stephanie says, hey Steph, she says she loves road trips. Patty's headed down to Jersey at some point. Dunkin' Donuts is on the menu. Dunkin' Donuts isn't good for you, right? But they're so good. I know. So I guess that's really what I have for you today, is really to be thoughtful when it comes to traveling, travel safely, be safe, be healthy. Here, what I always want to make sure that I'm giving you is that good, true, honest information. I do my research, we curate stuff on the website, and I will leave you with this. I'm Denise Siegel with Living Healthy Living for a Happy Life. See you next week.